Alright, another episode this time. Making another one of my favorite foods. And a cut of meat, or not a cut, but a type of meat I don't think gets nearly enough appreciation. Pork. Everyone always talks about steak and chicken, but I never hear anyone ever speak about pork, and that saddens me a bit. Because it's really simple to cook, but it can be made really well if you know how to. Now, first step, obviously, I'm trying to cut the fat off here. Because the fat on steak and the fat on pork are nothing alike. If you've had the two, you would know. Pork fat always just tastes raw, super grimy and greasy. So, I always just cut it off. And this always tends to be the most tedious part of it. But hey, it always makes it worth it, even if that's a big chunk that needs to be cut off because it's just fat. Come on. Alright, there's the first big sliver. And I already did it with the first pork fillet here. Or, I don't know if it would be called a fillet, but you know what I mean. The first piece of pork I already cut off the fat on before I started recording. Alright, get all this in the trash. Because pork fat is gross. Now, obviously, gotta wash your shit. Don't be gross. Wash your utensils. Especially if you have a lot of dishes piling up and you will have to eat your food with these. Wash them. Wait, I still need that. Why the fuck did I throw it away? But like, I've said this before and I'll say it again. A well-made cut of pork can easily match a well-made steak. It all depends on how it's cooked. And if you cook it good enough, it will easily be just as good. Now for this, I'm going to be using the same seasonings I did yesterday. It's kind of my go-to with it. Except for pork, I obviously don't use the squeeze of lemon. And I got this not for the pork, but because I'm going to make myself some ahi tuna for the first time over the next few days. Salt. Get some black pepper. That good old garlic salt that you can never go wrong with. Garlic powder. Some onion powder. Some chili powder. I'm gonna put quite a bit more chili powder on these than I do with the salmon. I just really like how the chili powder gives it a slight kick, even though I do admittedly wish that it was a bit more, but can't really go to chili powder for that. If you want a big kick, I'll have to go to, if I want a big kick, I'd have to go to things like jalapenos. And or I should say specifically the juices of jalapenos. Alright, that's the first side. And of course, you can't just season one side. If you only season one side, you are a horrific person. Some more garlic salt. Boom. Hit it with that garlic powder again. Next up is the usual onion powder. Go back for a second time with that chili powder. Love to see it coat the whole thing. And then, just like the first time, end it off with some paprika. Alright. Now I've got that going, let's put our seasonings back up. Shit. I may only have like 1 day's left worth of the garlic salt. Damn. Well, it just means I'll have to get some more soon. Alright, and then what do I want to do for sides? Alright. So, for the sides, I think I'm just going to do one of the most well-known, one of the most ordered sides when it comes to any food. Some fries. And I always just do the frozen Arby's curly fries. So, I definitely would suggest anyone to get these. They're air fryer liners. They work super well. I've had mine for, shit, damn near 3 years, if not more, at this point. So, I always forget what the instructions for these say. 360 for 12 to 14 minutes, and shake halfway. 360, I'm just going to do 15, which is what it's automatically set to. Alright. Put that back in the freezer. So I was able to get myself some peaches today, but I was not able to get mangoes, so I just went with some mango chunks. And now, I don't think that it will work with pork nearly as well as with salmon, because salmon always gives off that like vibrant, bright, tropical kind of energy that pork never really does. But worst case scenario, I can just use it as a smoothie, you know. Alright, drop your pork in the pan. Or in my case, skillet. Actually, that may be more along the lines of a pan. Then, I'm gonna use only 2 peaches for this. Obviously, you want that sticker off. There we go. But yeah, other than the tuna, I also got myself some lamb to cook for the first time, some catfish also for the first time, and then lastly for the first time some tilapia. There we go. Alright, turn that down some. Don't want it to be on max for too long. Ooh, this peach was very smooth. Alright. So, I'm gonna have to do some mixing with this before I put the mango chunks in, because the peaches are already at the top. Does that help any? Barely. Alright. Maybe, nope. Alright, I think I'm just gonna have to... Alright, maybe now that they're all crushed down a bit. Shit. And of course, it leaks a bit on the outside. If only it would be cutting me instead. Is that it? Come on, let this be it. I think that's it. And then, oh great. I tore it where it said to tear, and then it wasn't enough. This isn't enough, but I need to get it all mixed together a bit. God damn it, get put on the right way. Stop fucking turning only bits at a time. Full thing turn. Stay fucking even when I'm turning. And there's no movement there. Really? How's my pork doing while I'm doing this shit? Alright, that's a good looking color. Got the seasonings charring a bit onto it, so Time to flip it over. Alright. There's more. And how much am I... Oh. Put the milk back in my fridge. I'm not like starting Fatass yet. I'm not out of it. If this thing will fucking turn evenly. Nope. There we go. All right. All right. That is good. Mm. Yeah. That's good, but it's not like... It's not something that I think would work well with the pork as like a puree. So... just using it as a smoothie instead. Alright, I'm gonna turn that up. There we go. Alright. Yeah, these definitely need more time. I guess that's what I get for cooking them on a medium hot, or just straight medium heat. But I don't want to cook them too high and let them fucking burn. So while I'm doing that, let's get out a bowl and make some of the sauce. Now, with pork, I always go for barbecue sauce, and there's two specific types that I always mix together. Head Country, Casey Masterpiece. If this will open, there we go. Come on, get in there. Yep. Alright, and then last time I also put in some of this, so I'm going to do so this time too. Alright, turn that back down just a bit. Don't want too much because this is very vinegary. Just like, I like a bit of vinegar in my hot sauce, but this is just too much if I do, if I do more than just a tiny bit, that vinegar is way too overpowering. Then just mix the sauces in. The hot sauce, the Head Country Barbecue, and the KC Masterpiece Barbecue. I've tried Sweet Baby Ray's, it's fine, but I definitely prefer KC Masterpiece and Head Country. Alright. Make sure it all comes together. Do I have any working or any clean tongs? I do. Get a nice sear on that side. I'm gonna flip that over. Sear that tiny part on the bottom off. Alright, now just let it go back to the sides. Now get this one on the bottom. Or I guess it'll be the top on this one. And then it's not done yet, but this is what the sides are looking like. You get that seasoning charring onto it. Makes for some of the best flavor possible. But while that's going, barbecue sauce and hot sauce mixture on the side. And then get my plate out for the fries. And then, oh shit. What I always like to do is I just pick them up like this. Just pinch both ends and slide them out like that. Always works with fries. Even if some do end up falling earlier, they never hit the floor, so it's perfectly fine. Nice and hot. Now, to get myself the second side, some fruits. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to wash one of these big bowls. And then this one only had chips in it, so it's the easiest to wash out by far. Put this back. There we go. All right. Last of these from last night. And then with my strawberries, whenever I use them like as a side and not just the puree, I always just cut them into fours. And I always do 5. That way you have a total of 20 strawberry slices. Boom. Now I do have a knife that would be able to just chop through, but it's dirty, so gotta cut through instead. Wish the one I tried a few years ago that the knife would have cut through me. But it was dull as shit. $12. $16. $20. Get this back in the fridge. flip these around one last time. Love that seasoning sticking to it. Some raspberries. Yeah, most people, at least in the US, like 80 to 90% of people don't get enough fruit. I think I'm solidly in the 10% that does. Because goddamn, I love me some fucking fruit, man. I fucking swear, if I was gay instead of bi, most people wouldn't even be shocked because of how much I love fruit. But always good to have it as a side with something else as the main course. Never really want fruit as the main. Back in the fridge with that. Is that, alright, yep, that little piece there, or that little area, still looks raw. So, let's check this. Is that... What about this one? Ooh, yes. Just a slight, very little tinge of pink, and that's all. But the rest of it white. Turn the burner off. Alright. And just show you guys, slight piece of it. Get some better lighting. Just like that. Tiny amount of pink, the rest of it nice and white. Oh, I can already taste the seasonings from it. That is going to be some good ass fucking pork.